Welcome to a £5 and a £10 video game challenge. We're going to dive into a brand new CEX. I say brand new, that's an overestimation. I haven't been here for a while. We do the £10 game challenge, which was actually an £11 PS4 game challenge because I only spent £9 on the last challenge. We rolled that extra pound over to make it 11 quid. So how many and what games on the PS4 can I buy for 11 quid? We're going to do the same for the £5 game challenge, but we're going to be looking at PS3, Xbox, PSP, etc, etc. So the next footage you see will be me in the car chatting to you. But if you're new here, please subscribe. Please leave a like rating. Loads of out and about content here, loads of nostalgia, loads of retro gaming goodness, and consistency more importantly. So yeah, good one, nice one. Let's go to the car. Okay, as promised, we're going to do the £10 game challenge. But remember, there was a pound rolled over by as many PS4 games. It's going to be for 11 quid today. Jess is filming, which is gnarly. I love it when you film, Jess. Thanks. Yeah, it's cool, it's cool. Now, if you don't want to watch this like little bit, I'll put a timestamp in the description so you can skip straight to the game hunt. I'm excited. I'm always excited when I look for games. It's amazing. What are you laughing at?
You trying to do an imitation of another accent?
Anyway, let's go. Let's do this. Okay, let us gather our game hunting prowess as we march through this very odd shopping precinct in Ilkeston towards CEX. Little tip, this is a great CEX if you're in the kind of Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire area. This has pretty good retro games in, and it's quite clean and it's pretty big. So, you know, especially in these times, you can maneuver around it pretty darn well, I would say. But I'm clocking this here. Far Cry 4 and Fallout 3 were like between 4 and 10 quid. I think Far Cry 4 was 4 quid, and then Fallout 3 was £10. And then here, Super Metroid, the big box edition on the Super Nintendo, rocking in at £110. I love to look at retro games on these challenges, so there'll be a little bit of footage stitched in, little bonus footage in a charity shop right at the end of this video. So just when you think it's going to be over, this one ain't over, and we're diving in to the PS4 challenge first. But I have this thing, I kind of walk in, scope it out, and then I'm like, yo, Jess, come over here. Let us check the retro games. And these aren't actually bad prices. Feel free to pause the video. The Ooze was priced at £70, which actually isn't a bad price when all said and done. So we are literally on the cusp of the PlayStation 5 release. Who's excited for the next gen? Slam a comment below, and I think that the PS4 game challenge will get significantly easier, as I do see that the value of some of the games are beginning to drop. So like I said in the introduction, we had a pound rolled over in the last episode, meaning I had a little bit extra leeway, and I'm glad I did because I think I got some quality games over quantity on the PS4 side of things. And this playlist, there's a very fine line between kind of going into it, do I buy more games or do I buy less games at a higher quality? And I think for me, I'm going to be going into this challenge in the future, maybe kind of looking at what quality can we get, how far can we go in terms of gaming quality. Are we getting AAA stuff? Are we getting AA games? I mean, what are we getting for our money here? And I think I got a good deal, and I will show you soon what I pick up, and we'll dive into a £5 retro game or video game challenge as well. So I'm just kind of scoping the Wii out there purely out of convenience, as it was directly behind the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One stuff. Ding a ding a ding. Shadow of Mordor for a fiver. Right, let's talk about that. First of all, I have it, so I did put it back on the shelf. Otherwise, I would have picked it up. It is an open, was it like an open world? It kind of feels like an open world role-playing game within the Lord of the Rings universe. Very, very fun. And if you're familiar with Lord of the Rings books and or films, then I think that Shadow of Mordor is definitely one to look out for. And I'm kind of curious, and I'm going to put this out to anybody that doesn't live in the United Kingdom. So whether you're in Japan, whether you're in Australia, Canada, the United States, how much, can you just check for me, how much does Shadow of Mordor cost in your kind of local shop, so to speak? So £5 here, that equates to about $6 US. I think it'd be about 10 Australian dollars, but I'd be interested to kind of learn a little bit from you guys here in the comments section below. Don't quite know what face I'm pulling there, but as you guys can see, I didn't really have anything in my hands at this stage, so I'm still thinking, what are we going to end up with? What am I going to do? Quality, quantity, and it's hard with PS4 because unless you go in and you buy FIFA, which I don't want to do, or Destiny, which I don't want to do because I already own Destiny and the various iterations of DLCs, etc. You're only going to really get 2, maybe 3 games out of this. And for those that are new here, the rules are no doubles and no football titles, because like I said, we can go in and we can just get a myriad of FIFAs for 50p each. Although I have actually had a bit of an itch to play FIFA recently. Don't know why, because I'm not a massive football kind of fan. I'm not a football kind of girl, you know, but I don't know. And I just love the fact that you guys also try this challenge. It's been really popular this year. And yeah, let's continue with the episode because what is that in my hand? I'd already picked something up at this time. This is a scandal. Grabbing the camera back from Jess at this point, you don't see it, but I'd picked out my PS4 games and we are about to dive back into the comfort of the Lady Lounge, and I'm going to reveal to you what I picked up on the PS4 for £11, and then we're going to come back into CEX and take a look at the older games. We are going to start with the PlayStation 4, a game I don't own. So first up then, remember an £11 budget for this Mirror's Edge Catalyst, £5. Show you guys just a little close up there. So we've spent £5 out of the £11 budget so far. Inside looks pretty decent as well. I tend to pick the nicest possible cases, artwork and the plastic as I could possibly find. Very happy with one I have down here actually. So this is quite a good copy and I don't own it. So it's not like I'm going to recycle this back into a trade or anything like that. But I think that that's not bad for a fiver. It's kicking us off, okay? So we've spent £5 out the 11 so far. Next up then, I played the second. I actually got a free code for the second and I've never played the first. So it was a no-brainer for me to pick up Neo on the PlayStation 4 for £6, taking us to that quota of £11, which means the next PlayStation 4 game challenge will be back down to 10, so a little bit more difficult in the next episode. So £11, can you imagine? Like, I know it's the end of the PlayStation 4's life cycle, but I just love picking up cheap games, really good quality games as well, because I think we have to balance quality versus quantity on these video game challenges. So really stoked with that. So now let's continue and we'll take a look at some of the £5 retro game footage. Let's go. Thank you, Game Room Gemma. Now over to VoiceOver Gemma with some PSP stuff. Again, this is a good CEX. This is a good CEX of PSP games, as is the Mansfield store. Unfortunately, parts of Nottinghamshire now are growing in numbers from the pandemic, so I suspect it's going to become even more and more difficult to get out and about as much as I would love to, and that's why I'm just really enjoying and embellishing, getting out there, adding games into the collection, really buzzing off it. I mean, there's nothing better than getting out on one of these hunts and just buying video games. And obviously my favourite kinds of hunts are scouring the local retro game stores and the retro game markets. I have so many to hit off on my list of retro game stores, but it is pandemic permitting, so I have to be very careful, as we all do in these scary times. So we're just kind of behind the PSP games. We've got a lovely array of PS3. Now I'm going to give a little spoiler here. I did pick up a PS3 game and I am very happy with it. And it's quite ironic actually, because I kind of already own it on another platform, but I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of this particular series. You'll see what it is, so you're going to have to sit tight and hold on to your faces. Now, if you can catch any of what I'm pulling out here, what would you pick? Let's all play this game at home. You can do the 5 game challenge. If you are in isolation, you can watch these videos. I'm taking you guys with me. What timestamp anything you would have purchased, because again, I love to see your guys' taste and I take a lot of value. I've learned a lot from you guys. I've picked up some great tips, and long may that continue. But yes, over to the 360. Let's have a browse, shall we? Oh, Gemma, I'm just swinging around the store with absolutely no particular order, no methods to my madness here. I'm Xbox 360, I'm PS3, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. This is what I'm like on a video game hunt. My mind goes from one topic to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and then, you know, I'm thinking of 360, then it's PS3, then I'm over at the 3DS games, and it's just, you know, so I just want you to know that these videos, I tend to shoot them in order, so I don't mix up the footage at all. 9 times out of 10, like, everything's in order because I want you guys to see exactly what I'm seeing at the pace of the video. And I think it's an all-time record in this store. I think I was in and out, challenge done in like 20 minutes, and then I had a couple of looks in the charity shops, which were astronomically expensive, as you're going to be seeing. And I did dive into Game, as Game is opposite this CEX, so there's a little bit of bonus footage right at the end stitched in with some marvellous Nintendo Switch stuff. Now, Gamecube was very, very hidden, bottom shelf, and kind of opposite the PS4 games, so mixed in more with current gen stuff, which I was surprised at. I thought that these would be down near the PSP stuff. That tends to be the general layout of CEXs, and when I go in, you kind of know where to go because you know what goes next to what. But as you guys can see, these are top-end titles on the Gamecube, and we have some top-end Wii U titles. I have managed to bag both Wii U and Nintendo Gamecube titles on this challenge. It's been amazing at what I picked up, but unfortunately they were premium titles in this episode. It just clearly isn't in a £5 retro game budget, and I was like, what do I do? Nah, I've got plenty of Wii games. I've bought enough Wii games on this challenge, and it's time to just kind of spread my wings onto something else. So, like I said, flip-flopping all over the place, right back to the PSP games. And yeah, I think at this point I'd pretty much just about finished, but I take you guys over to the glass cabinets. We have some consoles, we've got some nice Xbox 360 variants, and I just have another look at the cartridge-based retro game stuff. Down here we've got some Sega Saturn, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, PS1. I mean, a great selection in here, and not ones you typically see. So we're going to go back to the game room, and we're going to find out what games I picked up for the mighty sum of £5. If you're new here, subscribe, because we've got plenty more awesome content coming. Let's go. A reasonable selection in there, not too shabby at all. And I'm going to show you what we picked up. Now, I have this on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but I've never played it on the PS3. And I am a huge Alien fan, so when I saw Alien Isolation for £4, and when I say this is in great condition, like even the plastic on the case is barely even scratched. I don't know if you can kind of see just how good the case is. Actually, really fantastic. All the additional leaflets inside here for £4. Again, an absolute no-brainer. I didn't really want to pick up more PS3 games, but I don't see this around very often, and I really want to play it just to compare the current gen graphics with the last gen graphics. Call me sad, but hey, you know, gamer quirkiness, it is what it is. That's what I want to try. So £4 out of the £5 budget already. Beautiful. And I hate to say it, but I went 50p over budget, and it really knocks me when I go over budget. But I really struggled with this. I picked up Fired Up on the PSP. So really nice kind of game. It reminds me of Twisted Metal on the PS1. A little bit quirky. It's actually got an old sticker from Game in the pre-owned section when Game used to have, you know, this far back in its life cycle games for sale. I wish they still did in a way, but hey ho. Maybe it just adds to the nostalgia having that extra sticker there. So unfortunately, we went over budget at £5.50. But I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And whilst this isn't a huge amount of games, I think these are quality titles compared to quantity. And like I said, this playlist is interesting because sometimes it's that very fine balance of, do I buy more or do I buy less but have better quality games? Now, if you like this episode, there's loads more episodes as my cat leaps out the window. There's loads more episodes in the £5 video game challenge located in the cards. I implore you to go and check out some awesome episodes that I've already done. So thank you very much for watching this episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in the comment section where we can have a debate about different memories and different games that you guys have found recently. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and if you're kind enough and you think I'm worth it and you think that this content is worth it, please share this content with your friends and your grandma and your dog. Who knows? But I'm going to leave it there. Guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon. Bye. Bye. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.